So we're all done. Hi guys, hope you're well and thanks for joining me in my kitchen. My name is Anisa and I share recipe videos on Instagram and YouTube every week. So if you like food, make sure you guys subscribe. We're going to be making a fish curry, so fragrant and full of flavour, and it's so delicious. The fish that I'll be using today is cod steaks, but you can also use sea bass or grey mullet as well, or any fish that you like. Now let me show you how. So the ingredients we have here are, I've got about 6 to 7 pieces of fresh cod steaks, about 4 or 5 tablespoons of cooking oil, some salt, 2 teaspoons of turmeric powder, 1 heaped teaspoon of whole cumin, 2 teaspoons of kashmiri chilli, 2 teaspoons of red chilli powder, some fresh ingredients here, fresh red chillies, some cloves and coriander leaves, and also a few curry leaves. And also here are, you can also use coriander powder, but this is Course Corriander. Now I like this in my curries sometimes, or also when you're marinating fish or chicken as well. So I'll be using some of this today. 3 fresh tomatoes, 1 fresh lemon, about 4 onions here, and I've chopped them up, and 5 to 6 tablespoons of tinned tomatoes, and I've blitzed that in my food processor. Okay guys, so I'm using a little bit of a wider pot so the fish doesn't break or anything like that, and you can move around easily. What I'm going to be adding in our preheated pan is some oil and our chopped onions. And the curry leaves. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to fry these onions till they're nice and soft but not golden brown. And while this is happening, I'm going to show you what we're going to do with our fish. Okay guys, so what we're going to be doing is marinating the fish. Now we're only going to be marinating the fish for a short while, so about 15 to about 30 minutes. Now what we're going to do is just, I'm going to take the heads off the chilies, of course. I'm going to be using this machine to blitz these ingredients, and now I find that it's always good to use whole spices, which gives it that full flavour. So that's why I've got whole cumin here and some coarse coriander. Now you can also use whole coriander seeds as well. Now when you smell this, it smells really amazing. Now that's why I find this is what's going to give it that full flavour and make it so fragrant. Okay guys, so this is after blitzing the fresh ingredients and the whole spices in my little food processor, and what I've done is I've just added about a tablespoon of olive oil or cooking oil. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to marinate our fish. So I'm just going to cover each steak with this marination. So we're just going to cover it on top, on the sides, and also at the bottom as well. And move on to the next piece. So after you've done that, we're just going to leave this for about 15, 20 or up to about 30 minutes. You can marinate it for. And while this is happening, whilst this is marinating, I'll show you what we need to do after the onions are soft. Okay guys, so the onions are now ready. So we're going to add in the ingredients. So I'm going to show you the ingredients that we're going to add in. So what I've done with the tomatoes is I blanched them in hot water and then I just removed the skin. I will link up the video for that so you guys can see how I did that. And I've chopped them up as well. So in that goes And then also we're going to add in our tin tomatoes, which I blitzed in a food processor so it's nice and smooth. And then what we're going to add in is some salt as well. So we'll just sprinkle that in. And of course, when you add the salt or any of the spices, if you want to just give it a try, and if you need to adjust the taste, then you can just add a bit more salt or any of the spices if it's needed. And then the crushed coriander, and what I've done is I've used most of it in our marinade, so I've just got about a teaspoon left, so I'm just going to throw this in. Some red chilli powder, about 2 teaspoons of turmeric powder, and 2 teaspoons of kashmiri powder. And then we're just going to mix that in. We're just going to let the sauce, so this is basically like the curry, so we're just going to let this cook for about 2-3 minutes. I'm just going to cover this and keep the heat on about medium heat. And then we'll come back to this. Okay, so let's just check on our tomatoes and see how it's going. Okay, they look nice. Now, they have actually gone soft. Yes, the tomatoes have gone soft and have dissolved now. So what we're going to now do is add in the fish pieces. So let's just take our fish. And just gently put them in. Now remember guys, fish, it doesn't take long to cook. And also you need to be quite gentle with it as well, so we don't want to be stirring or anything like that, because it can break very easily. So I'm just going to put them in there. And also I just wanted to mention that this fish, you can also just shallow fry it, or some people even deep fry it as well with just the marinade, but you can add some salt to the marinade, and you can have it with chips or wedges. I mean, I think I've done a recipe on that as well, so I will link up my fish masala recipe too, so you guys can check that out. And now what we're going to do is just cover that and just keep it on low to medium heat, and just keep an eye on it to make sure that it doesn't stick. And we're nearly there, so I'll show you what we need to do just before we finish. Okay, so this is almost done now. Now when you can see the oil coming through to the top, it's done. Now you can serve it like this. So we've not added any water or anything like that. You can serve this with roti, naan, rice as well. But what I'm going to do is just going to add a little bit of water, let it simmer for about 5 minutes, and then we'll be adding some chopped fresh coriander leaves, and also I'm going to garnish it with some spring onions as well. And then we'll be done. So now I'm just going to squeeze some lemon juice over, and you can add a bit more if you want as well. I just take these seeds out, and then we're going to add a little bit of water to this as well. And then very gently just going to move the fish around like this. And if you want to add a little bit more water to this, you can, or you can just leave it as it is, so it'll be nice and tomatoey with all the masalas. And then what we're going to do, so I think I'm happy with that. I'm not going to add any more water to this. Just going to simmer this for about 5 minutes, and then we're ready to serve. So we're all done, guys, and I just can't wait to try it. I'm sure you guys are going to absolutely love this recipe. I've garnished it with some spring onions and fresh coriander, and I've served it with some roti as well. You can also serve it with some rice or naan as also. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see new recipes every week. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.